Hello everyone, this is going to be your mid-month Psychic Tarot and Oracle card update for the second half of the month of December. This is going to be an all signs video. You can watch for your sun, rising, moon, and any other planetary placements that you happen to resonate with. Cross watchers are welcome, everybody. So this is just a little mini update reading. I have the longer full month reading available on my channel, The Rock and Roll Prophetess. By the way, you are watching The Rock and Roll Prophetess on YouTube. Do not be fooled by imposters. And the only way to contact me is through my website, vickieverlie.com. If you enjoy this content, I would love it if you hit the like, the hype, and the subscribe to my channel. Quick announcement, this is coming down the home stretch of our 2026 year ahead personal readings that I do every year. I've been doing a lot of them, but if you haven't got yours yet and you still want to, head over to my website where you can order your reading there. It will be no longer available after the first of the year. Okay, now we're going to start in with the sign by sign with the mini updated reading. And the first sign that we're going to do is the sign of Aries. So let me first of all just get a little shuffle going for Aries. We are going to have this big new moon in Sagittarius and the solstice. A lot of action in the second half. And, you know, you are one of the cardinal signs. I remind, many of you have heard this already, but if you're new here, I'm going to explain it again, okay? One of the cardinal signs, whenever the sun moves into the cardinal signs, there's 4 cardinal signs. There's Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. So anytime that a planet moves into the cardinal sign, of which you are one, this is when we have the change of seasons, and it's a turning point and a new beginning for all. Now you would be, since we're having the solstice on the 21st, sometimes being a cardinal sign, even though it's not your cardinal ingress, you know, it's not in your sign, but it's a square to your sign, and you being one of the cardinal signs often are very affected by it. And it is a turning point. Okay, let's see what we're going to pull an oracle card from my Holy HAMSA deck first. And then we're going to clarify with some tarot after. Let's take the top card. We have music. You know, I think music was going to come out before. I had to stop the tape and start again. So it's interesting that it came both ways. Let's try to get it in focus. And if you're on a device where you can zoom in and look at those background words, you may want to do that as well, because you can get, you know, maybe additional messages that way. So this is a deck that I created, and I'm going to read from the booklet that I created as well. It says, Revel, Harmonize, Aphrodisiac. Music speaks to us all, the soundtrack of our life. If you are being invited to bring music into your life when this card makes an appearance. Dance the dance of enchantment and feel the energy of its presence. Music fills our soul and raises our vibration. It has the power to heal and the power to transcend through frequency itself. Whether you play an instrument, sing, or are just a music lover, it is time to allow the tonal resonance that is music to envelop your very being. All right, well, that's wonderful. And what I picked up too, many times people will be going, there'll be like church concerts, you know, where people are singing or going caroling even. It feels like I'm getting a flash of people like singing Christmas music. So, well, it won't be true for everybody, you know, but maybe for some. If you've been invited to go to some kind of a music recital or Christmas church, you know, Christmas, whatever they would call that, you know, the Christmas Jubilee. The guys kept coming through with that word before, Jubilee. So that's one of their favorites. It's not a word in my normal vocabulary. So, but let's go ahead and get 3 cards for our Aries to clarify for the second half of December of 20. I think I got to put them over here and then I'll pull them in. First card we have is the Two of Wands. Second card that we have is the King of Pentacles. And then this is the third pile, right? Queen of Swords. Yeah, so meeting up with people at music. Maybe there's a lot of shows. There's Christmas shows, Nutcracker Ballet, you know, all these kinds of things that go on around this time of year. Meet up and be with people and be with friends. So we've got 2 people showing here. Neither are a representation of you. This person may be an air sign person, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or Libra. And the one crowning the reading, the King of Pentacles, may be an earth sign person, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Or it could absolutely be signifying that solstice, because that is when the sun moves into the sign of Capricorn and we are in earth sign season. But whatever the case, it's like meeting up with people, enjoying company of people, being sociable, The Two of Wands is also a part of partnership. So there could be a partner. If you're single, you could totally meet somebody at one of these shows or something, or some sort of music event or something. But also, this could be a partnership not necessarily of romantic nature. It could be a partnership if you are a musician or performer yourself. Maybe you're going to find the perfect people that you want to collaborate with in a musical situation. The Two of Wands is also a card of seeing your future and seeing the way to go. So you have a clear image of where you want to go, and there's going to be people who are turning up and showing up along the way to aid you and partner up with you on whatever capacity. Could be romance, could be professional, could just be good friends, you know, concert buddies, somebody you go to the concerts with all the time. So it looks like a lot of fun and joy coming your way, Aries. Don't forget about the year ahead reading if you want to get it. And if you want a more in-depth general reading, over there on the channel I have the full month reading, which is definitely more involved than these short mini updates. Otherwise, you might want to order a personal reading, whether it's a year ahead or other readings. Head over to my website for more details. Next, let's take a look at the sign of Taurus. Well, Taurus, the solstice energy is coming. I'm going to do a separate video on the solstice, so I don't really want to talk too much about the solstice. But let's just go ahead and pick your card for the second half for Taurus of December. We have number 25, dreams. Well, you know, the 25 is what really grabbed me, and I was feeling like, you know, 25th is Christmas Day, of course. If I can get it to come into focus. If you're on a device where you can zoom in and look closer, you may want to pay attention to some of the background words. But dream is the only card, by the way, where I have the eyes closed. And it's somewhat modeled after the Seven of Cups in the tarot, but a little different. Okay, intuition, meditation, subconscious, visioning your life into being, communing with your higher self. The dream card is the only card in the deck where the eye is closed, inviting us to look inward for the answers. More than answers, you are co-creating your life through your dreams and visions. Do not judge your life by what you see in the outer world. Instead, keep focus on what you are creating from within. Working with this patterning of your subconscious mind can bring great insights into what may be holding you back from living your dream life. When the dream card appears, be sure to pay close attention to your dreams. Write them down or speak them into your phone as soon as you wake, before they fade into oblivion. Yeah. Well, you know, many Tauruses are creative too. And this could be co-creating, envisioning your life through creativity. You may be getting major downloads from your higher self. Because there is this major period where that eye atlas is going to be coming in around the 19th. It's a new moon in Sagittarius at the galactic center at that time, and the solstice is right after. So a lot of crazy things could be going on here. Let's see here. Let's get 3 cards. Let's try putting them on the bottom this time. So we've got the first card is the Ace of Pentacles, some new money. King of Pentacles in that same position as Aries, but came out on the cut. Came out, look at this, 2 aces, double aces, and the King of Pentacles. Well, the other thing is, you know, the King of Pentacles, that is, oh, did I bring my deck in here? I sure did, didn't I? Did I bring my deck in here? Oh, dang it. I don't like to use my deck. This is my personal deck. Well, we'll continue with it, but normally I have I have more than 2 copies of this deck, because this was my main deck for decades. I've worn bunches of them out. But I did not mean to bring my deck in here. This is my personal deck. And it's crazy because I can tell by the way it feels. It actually has a different vibe, and it's you know, like I said, I have several of these decks. And it's also well worn like the client deck is, but you know, it's I could feel it feels different. But anyways, so this came out in the last spread, but this is also a representation of you, okay? You're standing on top of your dreams. You're standing on top of the mountain here. And you've got the Ace of Pentacles on one side. This is a new beginning in money. And there is a major coup or major victory surrounding it with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is cutting through all the BS, cutting through anything that may have been restraining you or holding you back. And it's onward towards victory and triumph, making great strides, breaking through the dark clouds, through going within, doing your meditation, or maybe even just getting lost in creativity. I'm picking up really for many of you. Because a lot of times if we're just thinking, trying to solve everything in our brain, it doesn't often get us anywhere. But sometimes if we turn our attention elsewhere, I mean, this could be meditation too, but I'm also picking up like doing some creative stuff, and you could come back to whatever you're working on with new insights, new ideas, fresh set of eyes, fresh set of ears, and it could go much better for you. And you could have some major breakthroughs, and even find avenues to create more prosperity and money in your life. All right, Taurus, well, if this resonated at all, you can head over to my website. You want to order a personal reading. Right now, my special is the end of the year, 2026 year ahead. It's only available for a couple more weeks, so you need to get in if you want it now. Otherwise, have a great second half of the month, and we'll be back again with another reading. Yeah, I have a more detailed readings also on my channel, longer ones than this, okay? Check those out. All right, next we're going to take a look at the sign of Gemini, and your card's already ready to come out. Flux. This is about being in that in-between time. It's card number 6. So if you can get it to, if you're in a device where you can zoom in and you want to look closer at the background words, you may be able to get some insight and information by doing so, if any of those background words stand out to you. Okay, flux is shifting, passage, transition. The magic hour is upon you, a powerful time of creation. The tween time is the magical hours where things are in flux, between light and day, wake and sleep, day and night, where one world abuts unto another. It is possible to transition into another timeline, another way of being, another reality. In a world where magical creatures make themselves known and are available to help you in your endeavors. As you drift off to sleep, set your intentions as your soul transitions from the physical world off to the land of Nod. If your life seems to be in flux, steer your visioning to the highest possible outcome and live your dreams now. Yeah. Well, we did have earlier in the month, too, Gemini, you did have your full moon in Gemini. So if you're watching this, I'll probably be posting this on the 8th or 9th. So if you're watching this, you may still be in the energetic aftermath of your full moon, even. So things could, you may be making some big changes in your life, big life decisions. Let's get 3 cards for our Geminis. We have the Ace of Swords on the cut. That was in the last reading, but it came out in the cut. 6 of Wands, triumph and victory, and 7 of Wands, struggle. Well, things are in flux because you're going from struggle to victory, okay? The Ace of Swords is that breakthrough moment. It is that getting through all this crap, finding a straight path through. And you may have even had, this enlightenment around that full moon on the 3rd. 6 of Wands is that another, both of these cards' keywords could be triumph and victory. So this could be some major triumph, victory coming your way. 6 of Rods is the spotlight being on you. You are the chosen one. You get picked for the job. You get the raise. You get the promotion. You get the part in the play. You land that gig, that dream gig that you were going for, or you get picked maybe in some kind of a contest or a grant even, or something like that. It feels like there was a lot of people vying for this, but you stood out in the crowd. And you are the one that the spotlight is shining upon you at this time. So you're going from this time of stress and struggle into this time of being victorious, being triumphant, and getting your just rewards acknowledgments. Acknowledgement is coming your way. All right, Gemini, well, there's longer readings over there on my website. This is just a mid-month update on my channel, Rock and Roll Prophetess. There's some longer readings. If you want a personal reading, you have to head over to my website, vickieverlie.com. There's different kinds of readings. The one that I'm special I have running now, of course, is the 2026 year ahead. Limited time offer till the end of this year. Have a great one. And now we're going to move on to the sign of Cancer. I'm going to do a little cleanse here. All right, Cancer, you, like I mentioned with Aries, you are also one of the cardinal signs. So, and when we have the solstice, we have the 2 solstices in the year, and then we have the other ingresses, what do they call them? The equinoxes, yeah. So anybody born on these axes, these, cardinal axes, often will really feel this shift in energy more than others of the solstice. I am going to do a whole video just on the solstice at some point, probably next week. But let's go ahead and get one card for Cancer for the second half of December. It has sorrow. Well, Cancers, you know, you are so emotional. If you want to take a look at the background words, if you're on a device where you can zoom in, you may want to zoom in and see if any of the background words stand out to you. You may get a message through there. Sorrow is card number 17. Tears, regret, sadness. Upon us all a little rain must fall. Life is not all peaches and cream. There are times when we may feel sorrow. This is the earthly dilemma, the dual nature of the existence. Without the lows, we would not appreciate the highs. Know that this is only a temporary state of being, and the sun will shine again. The actual shedding of tears can be a cathartic experience. Allow for the release and purge of any heavy burdens that may be plaguing you at this time. Always remember that this too shall pass. Yeah, this too shall pass. Well, Cancers, you are very emotional, you know, and you can fall into those sorrow kind of vibes at times. But the other thing is with you, the moon, you're ruled by the moon. And the moon changes signs roughly every couple days or so, right? So usually it will pass. You know, this too shall pass. That's usually very apropos to you, because as soon as the moon changes to a different sign, then so does your mood and your vibes. Okay. All right. Let's get 3 cards for our Cancer's friends, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who has prominent Cancer. For the first card, we have the 9 of Wands. Second card, we have the King of Rods. And then the third card is the Sun. Yeah, the Sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow the Sun will come out. Well, you know, you've been feeling overwhelmed perhaps, and it's starting to wear on you. You know, this is a card of feeling like I always have to be on guard. I always have to be, on guard. You know, I have to defend myself. I feel like there's maybe too much is coming at me. It's just too much. It's too overwhelming. And there is this King of Rods here. So this could be a person for sure, a fire sign person, a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. But, you know, the Sun, we are in the time of Cancer up until the solstice on the 21st. The sign of Sagittarius, which is fire. And there will be a Sagittarius new moon on the 19th. So that could have something to do with it, because the new moon is when the Sun and the moon join together. But whatever the case, you know, the Sun is one of the best cards in the deck. This too shall pass. This is a card of great joy and happiness also. So you're moving into a time of great joy and happiness. My guides say expect a full recovery. So of course this is not health advice, but if somebody is going under some surgery or something, or a procedure, or maybe even this person is somebody you care about, they're saying expect a full recovery. But it could just be expect a full recovery from whatever this sorrow, this loss that you're feeling around this sorrow energy. The Sun card is there, happiness, joyous, everything. The Sun could also be talking about the solstice too, because that's a solar event. But, you know, the Sun is joy, happiness. It may be because of your interaction with this person, or they may be the person who is like giving you some kind of boost up, or making, you know, doing something really awesome that makes you really happy and overjoyous, you know, very joyous. It's going to end up very joyous, even if, you know, there is some times of sorrow. It could even be you're missing some people who aren't here for the first time this year. That happens quite a bit. Hey Cancers, if you want a more in-depth reading, head over to my channel, because I do have other readings there. This is just a mini update. And if you want a personal reading, you have to go over to my website, vickieverlie.com. The special I'm running till the end of this year is the 2026 year ahead reading. It's available only till the end of December, and then not till next year. It's packed full of a lot of different things. All right, now let's move on to the sign of Leo. This is for Leo, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who has prominent Leo in their chart. You've got the Cleanse card. Okay. Well, Cleanse could be even, well, I'll read it to you. It's actually card number 18. It's the next card after the other card. Sorry if you heard that phone buzzing. It's some freaky thing with my camera. I've told repeatedly, I've turned it on, turned it off. It always notifies me. Like pretty much anytime a car drives by my house, it goes off. And I can't turn the buzz off, anything. So I don't, it's just, I'm too overwhelmed to deal with one more thing right now. So sorry if you heard that. But if you're on a device where you can zoom in and look at these background words, check it out, because it may have something that you could get a message that way. All right, cleanse. Well, clear, smudge, unburden. Purge yourself of excessive clutter. See your way clear. The cleanse card is calling you to clear away the litter in your life on all levels, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. When you remove all the extraneous toxins that have been polluting your environment, you are making space for new things to come into your life. This may be a good time to do a thorough cleaning of your environment. The burning of sage, use of salt, and even sound can go further to clear your field. These type of ceremonies may be far more powerful when performed on a full moon or right after. Well, there you go. We're going to have the full moon on the 19th, and this card number 18. So, I mean, some people might be on the 18th, like in Australia, and, you know, over there it might be on the Asia, Australia. I think you guys are like one day ahead of us, aren't you? I'm in the States here, United States. All right, let's do 3 cards for Leo for the second half of December. Well, the other thing I'm thinking too, if you're having company over for any kind of holiday celebration, you know, many times you want to do a big cleaning, or even hire somebody in to help you do a major cleaning on your house. Okay, let's see here. First card you have is 6 of Pentacles. Knight of Wands in that same position, and it came out on the cut, so, and then the Knight of King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Well, sure looks like you're going to get some money here. 6 of Pentacles. You clear that energy out and some money's going to show up for you, Leo. You've got 2 cards here, Fire and Earth. And what is happening during this second half of December is we are moving from fire to earth on the solstice. So could just be that time right at the solstice around the 21st. But these are also people. Now this is actually a representation of you, the King of Fire. And the fire energy, of course, are the Leos, the Aries, or the Sagittarius, any of the fire signs. So it could represent you, but it could also represent another fire sign person. I feel like in most cases, this is another fire sign person, or the representation of the Sagittarius fire time. Because the way he looks down here at this Pentacles, it's almost as if he's bestowing that. He's going to, maybe this is your boss and he's going to give you your year-end bonus or something. You know, he's looking down here at the 6 of Pentacles as to choosing you to reward, or maybe choosing to buy your product, or if you're trying to sell a house or trying to sell a vehicle or boat or something, this person is looking it over and is willing to give the money for whatever, to go towards you in some way. Maybe it's a raise, maybe it's promotion, maybe you approached your boss and said, I need a new raise, I need some more money, can you give me a raise? And they're saying, yes, you're going to get it. Now the Knight of Pentacles, this is an earth sign person, a Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. This could be the time of Capricorn. This guy also, though, because he's the Pentacle, he brings the money. He's carrying that coin right there. He's carrying that big-ass coin, right? He's got the big-ass coin. 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 Okay. Yeah, so there's some big-ass coin coming your way, it looks like, Leo. Financial abundance. People, though. I mean, you're a people person. And having some friendships and having people around looks very favorable and positive. Do that cleansing to bring in all the joyous new energy for not only the second half of December, but the new year ahead. Speaking of the new year ahead, if you haven't ordered your year ahead reading and you want to, head over to my website. Also, this is just a mini reading if you're new here. Head over to my channel, Rock and Roll Prophetess, where I do have lots of other readings that are some much longer and more in depth than this. Okay, next we're going to take a look at the sign of Virgo. He's got the big ass coin. That cracks me up. Okay, Virgo. Oh, this one's going this way. Let's see what we got. Soar. All right, and that is card 28. Okay. If you're on a device where you can pause the video and zoom in, you may want to, and you may want to look at some of the background words there. Soar is a card of triumph, victory. It's kind of like the Chariot, a little bit like the Chariot, but not exactly. Okay, rise, triumph, transcend. ascending to new heights, leaving earthly concerns behind. Attune yourself to the subtle whispers of the wind. Do not fight against the stream. Instead, align yourself with the highest wave and allow the wind to carry you into the clear skies of tomorrow. Outside the stratospheres of the earth plane, through the gateway of higher dimensional existence, when the smaller birds are making a fuss and nipping at your tail feathers, your spirit calls you to fly above the chaos below. Leaving them in your dust, you soar to the highest realms, a higher realm of being beyond the chatter of daily life. This card can be an omen of great success. You are rising higher than ever before, reaching new heights toward whatever you have been striving for. Yeah, so making big strides. I mean, Virgos, you are the hardest working sign of the zodiac. We all know that. So you could be making some big moves at this time of year, big breakthroughs. Let's get the shuffle going, and then I'm going to pull 3 cards from the tarot for clarification. 1, 2, 3. We have the Queen of Cups, the 10 of Pentacles. Well, there you go. And the 7 of Wands. Yeah, so whatever this is what it was talking about when it was saying, you know, the little birds nipping at your toe. This is all the little BS stuff that you got to take care of. But see, again, Virgo, that's right in your wheelhouse. That's your jam. Those little details and all that stuff, you know, you're great at that. You know, that's right up your alley. But it can be tedious. Even this kind of tedious work can get tiresome for even the most detail-oriented Virgos. And I feel like it feels like really you're just trying to wrap everything up before the end of the year or before the holidays, so you're just, you know, kicking ass and taking names here. And you are going to get that money, boy. You're rising to that next level. Whoever may be really appreciating that extra special work that you did, this feels like this is an important person, that maybe your boss or an important client. This feels like who you're doing all this hustling for. You're trying to get all this stuff taken care of and everything done in order to do a really good job for this person. Now, this person could be a water sign person, which would be a Scorpio, a Cancer, a Pisces, or this could be, well, we're not having any water time events, but what I was thinking is maybe you started working with this person or started on whatever you're trying to wrap up here. You may have started this back in Scorpio time, maybe back in November even. You've been working on it. The guides are saying they trusted in your very capable hands. They put trust in your very capable hands. Which, look, she's not checking on you. She's like, okay, I know Virgo's got me covered. I'm over here dreaming my next thing that I can. It feels like this person might be the dreamer, and then you are the one who, you know, goes through and makes it happen and does all the details that need to happen to make it. You know what I mean? Like they have the creative vision, or well, they have a vision. And then they hire you in here or call on you to come in and make sure everything's going to... It almost reminds me of building a website before we had all these automated website builders, you know. This might be call you in to do all the coding and, you know, they've drawn out in Photoshop, here's what I want it to look like. And then you have to put it together and do all the functions and make sure everything works fine. But it's probably not a website because everything's pretty automated these days. But you know, something like that where you got to get in there. But you're rocking it, man. You're thriving. You're able, ready, willing, and able. Is that how it goes? Yeah. And there's going to be looks like a nice chunk of money at the end of it. This could also be some kind of inheritance, and sometimes this can be selling a property. Maybe you're going to be going through and getting the house ready to sell or something like that. It could even be helping out somebody do that, like an elderly relative. Maybe they're going to downsize, and you're helping them get their house together to sell and move into a new apartment or whatever the case might be. But it sure looks like it's going to be very prosperous for you. And with the Sword card, you know, that's some big success there, Virgo. Hey, if you want a more in-depth reading, I do have other general readings that are a little more in-depth over on my Rock'n'Roll Prophetess YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, also please hit that like and hype, and if you could take the minute to subscribe, it's appreciated. If you want a more personal reading, I have I have several available. I'm doing this in the backwards order. And they're over on my website too. But the special I'm running right now, only till the end of the year, is going to be that year ahead. So check that out if you want to get in on it. Next, we're going to take a look at the sign of Libra. Okay, Libra, again, you are one of the cardinal signs. So Anytime the sun moves into a cardinal sign, we have the change of season. So we're having the solstice, which is the change of season. And often you and the other cardinal signs will always feel this maybe a little more than some of the other signs, right? All right, let's get a cut and take a card for Libra for second half of December. We have herbal. This is about using herbal remedies, medicines. I need a remedy. I need a remedy. It's what it said to be. If I had some. Check out the background words if you can, if you're on a device where you can zoom in, because sometimes you can get a message from there. All right, it's herbal. Flora, botanical, plant medicine. A holistic approach may be beneficial at this time. We humans have a long history and deep connection with the plant world. Long before the advent of modern medicine, shamans and healers all over the world worked with plant medicine. Whether used for concoctions, teas, tinctures, salves, or oral medicine, the plant kingdom bestows many gifts of healing, both known and unknown. You may be called to further explore the plant medicine at this time. The healing modalities are far and wide-reaching, bestowing many physical, mental, and spiritual benefits. Okay, there you go. Of course, that's not medical advice. Always consult, disclaimer. Consult your physician, but yeah, it could be something to consider. Give it a try. All right, let's go ahead and get 3 cards for Libra. Libra, Libra, goodbye. What is that? Tootsie. Tootsie, don't cry. Let's pull this down a little bit. Well, there's something that you have been, there seems like there has been some sadness, frustration. You got the 9 of Swords. Maybe some of you can't even sleep, because sometimes this is something that keeps you awake at night. You might want to try some chamomile tea or something like that. But there's news coming that's going to turn things around. And this King of Cups seems to be very instrumental in, this could be a doctor or some sort of practitioner too, because the King of Cups, I think of the King of Cups as a healer for sure. But the King of Cups, just straight up textbook tarot is a person, a man, could be a man. I don't use gender in these readings anymore, but could be a man. Could be a water sign, a Scorpio, a Cancer, Pisces. Could be somebody that you heard about back even in October, I want to say, back after your birthday. Because we've got air, water. So the last transition of air and water would have been October, as we transitioned from Libra to Scorpio, air to water. Now, looking forward, it could be the next air to water transition is going to be Aquarius to Pisces, and that's going to be in February. So it could be saying, maybe if there's something that you're going to try now, by the time we get into February, you may see the improvement that you're seeking. You may be feeling a lot better by that time. But whatever it is, don't be afraid to reach out for help. This is a time, I know many get depressed. If you feel like you're falling into depression, I mean, there's plenty of free, you can call people. There's free, like, suicide prevention hotlines, different things that you can call. I'm not suggesting that any of you are suicidal, but if you're just feeling blue, what is that? Your time has come, ooh, all the dreams on the way, hey, see how they shine. Oh, when times are hard and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water. So somebody's going to be a bridge over troubled water for you. So reach out. There are people around. This person could be, often the King of Cups too, is very empathic. This could absolutely just be somebody who's like a counselor or somebody that you could talk to. So you don't have to go it alone, Libra. I know many times you're so nice that you don't want to bother people. But if you need a little help, and maybe look into some herbal things, there could be some herbal things that might help you feel better on all levels, So, okay. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you're feeling better and brighter as the month progresses on. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I do have other more in-depth readings right here on YouTube and Prophetess channel. This is just a brief little update reading, so you can check that out. If you enjoy this content, please do hit the like, subscribe, and hype button. It really helps me out. If you want to go even deeper, I have personal readings over on my website, including the special I'm running only till the end of this year, 2026. So time's running out on that 2026 year ahead reading. If you want to get in on it and you haven't yet, head to my website. Otherwise, we're going to move on to the sign of Scorpio. Hello, Scorpio. Let's see what the universe has to say for you in the second half of December of 2025. There's one here, Nirvana. This is the last card of the deck, Nirvana. If you're on it, it's card number 50. This is a deck I've created. If you're new here, this is one of the decks that I've created. If you're on a device where you can zoom in and see the background words, and you might want to take a look, and if any of those stand out to you, you may get a message, a personal message from your own guides through this. Okay, Nirvana, card 50. Wisdom, completion, enlightenment, a place of peace, a spiritual awakening. The journey to Nirvana or enlightenment is never ending. Once we set our foot upon the spiritual path, we traverse many trials and tribulations on our life's journey. The Nirvana card acknowledges that you have reached some point of spiritual mastery, or it is within your grasp at this moment. This card may symbolize a beacon of light, a path to adhere to, a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a state of being that we all fall in and out of, yet we keep striving to maintain. Continue moving through the stages of enlightenment and quest for higher knowledge. Well, isn't that you all day long, Scorpio? You know, Scorpios always want to get to the truth. I just have to get a quick drink of water. You are the spiritual seeker. You are always trying to break the barriers of consciousness and so on. You know, you guys are deep. You're very deep. Let me get a shuffle going for our Scorpios for the second half of... Oh, that didn't... I'm getting a hot flash now. Hold on, I've got to squirt myself with water. I've got my handy dandy hot flash. Hot flash. So did I get some on the thing here? Oh, my squirter. Okay, let's go ahead and get some cards for Scorpio for the second half of December of 2025. 1, 2, 3. At the King of Cups, a representation of you. Wheel of Fortune, nice. And Six of Pentacles, nice. You know, when I saw this, in my mind's eye, what I saw with this, with the wheel and the Six of Pentacles, I felt like I was in one of those places like a church bazaar or bingo where they have like a, I mean, it could be Vegas, a roulette machine, or I don't call it a machine, a roulette wheel. But I was in one of those where they have like the Wheel of Fortune on the wall. You know, it's like usually made out of like plywood with woods, click, 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 one of those. And I saw it like clicking into place, and the crowd going wild. So if you have a chance to attend some sort of like, it reminds me of like a church bazaar or one of those things they have in like a basement of a church. I mean, it's not going to apply to everybody, but, and if you don't gamble, don't start on my account, please. But, you know, if you want to place a bet, you could win some money here, because this is getting money that sometimes it's not from earned. And Wheel of Fortune is fate and destiny. But also it could be you land your dream job, or you get that nice big bonus that you weren't expecting, because there is an element of the unexpected with the Wheel of Fortune, sort of a surprise thing. It's, you know, fate, Fortuna. The King of Cups. So this could be a representation of you, and there's no gender in these readings, so it doesn't matter. It's the water sign person, the Scorpio, the Cancer, the Pisces. It could be you, but it also could be another water sign person who's saying, hey, they're having this, you know, they have poker tables and those kind of, I know because my mom was a nut for those things. She would always go to those, anytime there was some kind of church, they don't call them bazaars, but they have gambling events, whatever it is, you know. And it's usually in the basement. But I'm thinking of that. They're flashing me on those. I was never that great at it. I'm definitely not a good poker player. In my family, the holiday meals, the big Thanksgiving and the big Christmas meals, it was less about the meal and more about the big poker game. You know? My mom she loved all kinds of gambling, and that was our holiday get-togethers. Was you better bring your, you know, your game to the poker game. I never played. I was no match for those sharks. You know, I was doing the dishes. I was the one doing the Cinderella in there, cleaning up and doing all the dishes. But yeah, so it could be like that. Maybe if it's a family, because a lot of family gatherings are held in, you know, you have people in basements and stuff, and different things. But if there's a chance to gamble, you might win some money. Of course, play within your means. The other thing is you could meet somebody. This could be some kind of destiny with a fellow water sign, another person who could be a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, you know, who also, though, it's because it's like it's a karmic reward too for you, because you've done your work, you've done the spiritual work, you're ready for a king, you're ready to step into the role of the king yourself, and you're ready for a king to be in your life, somebody who's emotionally mature, spiritually evolved, not caught up in the matrix. And playing, you know, silly head games or whatever goes on, drama. You know, no drama here. This is sincere, open-hearted, you know, somebody really cool that you could be meeting. Maybe you'll meet through some kind of a money or financial thing. All right, Scorpio. Well, I have more in-depth readings here over on my channel. If you're new, do check it out, and hit the subscribe, like, hype if you can do that for me. That all helps to keep my channel going. If you want even more details, you can head to my website for a personal reading, vickieverlie.com. You can find the links below. And the special that I'm offering, it's going to be running out of time here by the end of this month, and that is the 2026 year ahead reading. It's packed full. It's the most popular reading for the year because you get so much. You get tarot, you get astrology, you get animal totems. It's packed full. It's my thanks to all my clients, you know, through this year and other years too. All right, well, let's go ahead and we're going to move on to the sign of Sagittarius next. Now, Sag, I need another drink of water. Sorry, my throat is getting parched. I got to turn and get my humidifier going. This dry air from the heat is messing with me. But anyway, Sag, back to you. You get your new moon. Happy birthday again. But also your new moon is on the 19th. And it's going to be a doozy, a whopper. It's a new moon conjunct the galactic center. Also, that three-eye atlas is going to be closest to the Earth apparently at that time. So it's pretty major. But you do get the one new moon, one full moon every year. This is your new moon. Make your new moon wishes. This is your solar new year, not January 1st. It's your new moon or your birthday. So this is the time, okay. Sagittarius, the vortex, number 47. Ooh, we're getting some deep ones here. These are the higher cards, are the real deep ones. Okay, if you're on a device that you want to pause the video and zoom in and try to see some of the background words, you may be able to get some kind of personal message there through that. Okay, vortex 47, which adds up to an 11. Portal, gateway, opening. In the darkness there is always a doorway into light. A crack in the universe, a gateway to discovery and enlightenment. The vortex is a powerful portal of change. Pulling you into its energetic force field, you are compelled to merge with its turbulent resonance. Once you enter, there is no turning back. Things may be chaotic for a time, but it is just the reorganizing of atoms and molecule during this paradigm shift. Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are saying that that three-eye atlas is doing just that. It's your new moon and the solstice. I mean, some heavy-duty stuff is going down, Sagittarius. All right, let's go ahead and get 3 cards from the tarot for clarification for our Sag friends. 1, 2, 3. We have the 4 of Swords, King of Cups, he's been out a lot, and the Emperor. Well, somebody, if you've been waiting for a decision here with this 4 of Swords, you've been waiting for a decision, or well, whatever you've been waiting for, it feels like the King of Cups may be and the Emperor may be one and the same, okay, for many people. The Emperor is going to come forth and decide in your favor, I would say, you know. Go into that vortex and visualize it, you know, coming out the way you want it to come out, or going through to the timeline where it is what you want it to be. If this person is not the emperor in themselves, the person calling the shots, making the decisions, this could be somebody who is a helper to you. This person may be the, you know, already, like say you're trying to get hired to this company or this job, for instance. This guy might already work there, and he might, you know, he's got the emperor's ear. They, whoever, could be anybody, no gender, but they've got the emperor's ear, and they're putting in a good word for you. And then the emperor's gonna, you know, emperor's waiting to see, also no gender. The emperor's the person in charge, could be anybody. You know, so the boss, the person in charge, the person calling the shots here, is going to, you know, it's going to go into your favor here. Even if it's been for you, like maybe you've been waiting even 4 weeks or 4 months, it could even be, I want to say, for some people. Because, you know, Mercury has not been retrograde for 4 months, but Mercury was retrograde in your sign. Then it went back into Scorpio, and then it's going to come back into your sign again. Or it may have already. I believe by the time we're through with December, it definitely will have come back into your sign. So you may have been waiting like 4 weeks during the retrograde, because when the retrograde falls in your sign, you'll often will feel that, you know, much stronger. I should verify that. When does that? I think it's already gone direct. I have my calendar right here. Just one moment. Scorpio. Oh, Sagittarius. Excuse me. Let's see here. When did Mercury go direct? Saturn went direct on the 10th. I remember to mention that to Pisces, but what else we got here? I need the good glasses for this. Well, we have your, oh, this is next year. Well, that's not gonna. Is that next year? I might be mistaken. Well, I might be mistaken. Oh, ho, ho, ho. This is 25. Yeah. Because that's not your new moon. Your new moon's here. Okay, when did Mercury go direct anyway? I probably might have to look it up in the other part of it. Well, it moved back into Sagittarius, retrograding here on the 11th, okay? And then it's, let's see, it is going to go direct, or has it already? Well, maybe it already went direct. I'm going to have to, since I've gone this far, we might as well go all in. Let me look at the other part of it. Instead of trying to spot it on this little map here, let's look at the whole, the ephemeris part of it. Well, this calendar is also falling apart. Oh, there, it's there. It might have already fell out. That's what I was thinking. Well, it hasn't fallen out, has it? Yeah, it hasn't. Okay, let's see. Here we go. This is what we have. Well, I guess I can find it there, but I'm better to look at it this way. So here we are, Mercury. Am I having like a communication breakdown? Here it is, November. So it actually did go direct on November 29th in your sign, though. You know, so Mercury direct in your sign. That's within that 4-week window that we're talking about there. So it could be something like that, where, you know, a lot of things that you've been waiting on. It might not only be just one thing. It could be several things. Again, because, you know, the Mercury in your sign goes direct. Things that you've been waiting on to hear back from, etc. Start moving forward. Well, don't forget about that new moon. It's going to be super powerful. Set your intentions. Make your wishes. If you want a more in-depth general readings, I do have other readings on my website that are longer and more in-depth. And also, if you want to, or on my channel, personal readings available through my website, vickieverlie.com. And the special I'm running is the 2026 year ahead reading. If you go to my website, the image looks just like that. It makes it really easy to find. All right, next we're going to move on to the sign of Capricorn. Happy birthday, Capricorn. I'm going to do a whole separate reading on this whole solstice thing, but this is the time of year when the sun is moving into your sign. So this is your power time. And that, even if you're a January Capricorn, that solstice is super powerful. The day of, because it's that 0 point, you know, it's your season. Okay. I'm hearing, must be a season of the witch. When I pull the trickster card too, wow. Well, the trickster card is, I mean, Capricorns, you're pretty savvy about stuff like that. You're no pushover. Somebody's trying to pull some crap on you. It's hard to get something past a Capricorn, because they see, they've been there, done that, they've seen it all. Okay, if you want to zoom in, pause the video if you're on a device where you can pause and zoom in and you'd like to. Take a look at some of those background words. You could get a message, perhaps a personal message. Okay, trickster, deceit, fraud, treachery. All is not what it seems. Be wary of who you trust. The trickster card is warning you that someone may be deceiving you. Tread lightly and stay aware of the subtle clues that something may be amiss. The trickster is very sly and cunning and knows just what to say to lure you into their trap. Trust your gut instinct as to when you feel as something is not quite right. Chances are your intuition and inner knowing is trying to alert you to their ruse. That's right. All right, well, yeah, the trickster card, you know, could be secrets. Could be just somebody that you know. I'm getting the feeling this is a relative for many of you. And you're just like, oh, here they go again. I'm getting like somebody who's a bullshitter too. You know, I've got some relatives like that. You know, you got to take everything they say with a grain of salt, right? And it's just like, oh, there they go again with their bullshit. You know, lies and exaggerations, tall tales. You know. But let's see, Capricorn. Let's get some other information other than the trickster for you for the second half as we move into your big season here. This is big time for Capricorn. 1, 2, 3. Got 8 of Swords, the 2 of Cups, the soulmate, and then the Knight of Pentacles. Now the Knight of Pentacles is also a representation of you, but I get the feeling like this is, you know what this feels like, super strong to me. This is your daughter-in-law, son-in-law. This is your person. This is the person that you love, okay? Whether it's your romantic relationship, whether it's one of your kids, whether it's a cousin. It feels like a younger person for most, but it doesn't have to be. But what I feel like is this person is in love. They're in love, and they don't see anything that this, and you can see right through it. You can see that this person is manipulating, messing with your loved one here. It could be you in some cases. Maybe you're so love-struck that you're not seeing. But again, usually Capricorns are not so quick to just fall in. Really, all the earth signs, they're pretty cautious with their heart, you know. There's something really stressing out here about this whole thing. Some of you may be on the fence. Maybe you know something. You got some dirt on them. You saw them cheating or something like that. And then here's your nephew or son or somebody, and they're, you know, Google-eyed, madly in love with this. They're showing me that emoji with the eyes for the heart eyes. You know, this is this guy. He's like madly in love with this person, and you know, or you know somehow that, you know, and you're in a quandary, like, well, what am I going to do? Or maybe this is somebody that you already knew in some other capacity, and you know all about them, and then they show up at the family gathering with your nephew or something, and you're just like, oh my God, he's dating her, are you kidding me? And do I tell him or do I not? Well, I always err to the side of not, you know, because if something goes down and they break up, then who's the bad guy? You. You're the bad guy. Or they break up and then they get back together and you were talking stuff of telling them all the dirt on this person. And you know, and another thing is everybody has, you know, everybody changes. Are you the same person you were 10 years ago? No, you know. Maybe it feels like this is a genuine connection, you know. For others, though, but I feel like, you know, you're real protective over them. Or maybe this is your new relationship and you go meet their family and there's this person there. It's just like, oh no, not them. Are you kidding me? That is, you know to be, I feel like you know to be this you see it clearly what's going on here. Whatever the case. However, it's going to be different for everybody. You're not the one who's blinded by love here. This is somebody else. I feel like you're just like, oh, should I tell him? Should I not tell him? I don't know. And, you know, it's going to be different. It's case-by-case basis for sure. But again, on I usually don't say anything. And just, you know, me too, because I'm psychic. I pick up stuff all the time too. There's been many times when I've been sitting, a lot of times I'm not trying to tune into anybody or be psychic. Usually what I'll see is something right over their head. And I'll look over them and out of the blue and I'll see some little vignette will pop open above their head and I'll see some little scenario unfolding, and most of the time, especially if it's something bad, I just don't say anything, you know. I just, maybe I should because it's being shown to me. Am I supposed to say something? You know, that's a quandary I've faced myself many times, but just be happy for them. They're in love, be happy for them. Even if you don't know for a fact, if it's just one of those things, you know the type, you know this type of person. You've seen this before, no matter what it is, Capricorn. I would say try to play it cool, but again, it's going to be on a case-by-case basis. Just be loving and supportive to the person here who you are a soulmate with, your family member, or it could even be if your new partner, you know, but you could see, maybe you could see that their mother's a manipulator. You've seen it before. You know, it's those kind of things. That's what it feels like. My guides are saying mum's the word. You know, it'll all come out in the wash. They have to see it for themselves. Those are all, that would be my advice too, but again, different for everybody. Hey Capricorn, I have more in-depth general readings here over on my Rock and Roll Prophetess channel. If you've just found this by accident, you may want to check out my channel, and if you like it, hit that like and subscribe and the hype button. It's really appreciated. If you, for more details and more insight personal readings, I have different kinds available over on my website. The special I'm offering now is that 2026. It's going to expire at the end of this month, so if you want to get in and have not, check it out. Otherwise, next we're going to look at the sign of Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius, I got to shake that off. I'm getting a song still from Capricorn. It was something, I think that we're in for a whole lot of trouble. But I don't know what song the rest of it is. So, well, we're going to have to clear that out. We're doing Aquarius now. Clear out that energy. And let's go ahead and get over for our Aquarius, the mid-month mini update reading. Say that 5 times fast. Mid-month mini update. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, huh? Let's see, Aquarius. Oh, Aquarius! Oh, you got the dragonfly. That's a really cool card. It's one of my faves. It's one of my big animal totems. I've had some magical things happen with dragonflies. I had magical healings and all kinds of cool stuff. So if you're on a device where you can pause the video and zoom in and you want to take a look at some of these background words all around here, go ahead and do that, because it could give you maybe a personal, you know, a personal message. If you do it, drop a comment and let me know which one stood out to you. I always forget to mention that. Okay, 22, dragonflies, fairies, healing, multidimensionality. There we go, I got it out. See them zipping to and fro, magical creatures of the sky. The dragonfly has an otherworldly presence as it edges on this world and the next. From the borderlands of air, water, and earth, the dragonfly brings knowledge and healing from higher dimensions of being. If the dragonfly has made an appearance in your life, you can be sure that magic is not far behind. Seeing a dragonfly may spark a soul memory of another time, another realm, where actual dragons flew through the air and reigned supreme. Yeah, it is a very magical card. Magical totem. All right, let's go ahead and get 3 cards for Aquarius, Sun, Rising, Moon. Oh, my GMJ is starting to act up again. It's been really hurting me because I've been talking too much. Okay. Let's get the 3 cards here. 1, 2, 3. I have 9 of Pentacles. Well, you've been getting those money cards, I believe, Aquarius, haven't you? Well, 9 of Pentacles is that card of your finances being in order. You're in financial abundance. Sometimes this is having your own business. Sometimes this can be branching out on your own. The 2 of you, lovers, you got the money's cool. The relationship is cool, lovers, but lovers is also just being surrounded by those you love and happiness and joy and love energy. And then the Hangman, you know, it feels like you're going to get everything done early, and then you can just take some time to, you know, chill out, make some hot cocoa, you know, sit by the fire, you know, just take it all in. That's what the Hangman is, taking it all in. He's connecting with higher realms. He's getting downloads and messages from his spirit guides. He's not strangled. On none of the decks would he be strangled that I've ever seen, if they're doing it right. Because the Hangman, see, he's got the halo. He's getting the enlightenment. So you're getting that enlightenment. You're getting those downloads. You're channeling the peace, bringing the peace. Be the keeper of peace. You know, a lot of times this time of year, things can get really chaotic and crazy. And you can bring in the peace and the keeper, be the keeper of peace. And divinity, my guides are saying, divinity. Yeah, so it could be like a very spiritual time. If you haven't gone to Mass, or like I used to, even after I stopped being a practicing Catholic, I would still go to midnight Mass a lot of times, because it is just so holy and beautiful. You know, it's just a beautiful thing. So if you are, you might want to do something, or maybe it's some kind of big solstice or Yule gathering or something, you know, different things like that. But it feels like you're getting everything done, and then you have time to just kind of soak it all up and take it all in. It feels really nice, very nice, peaceful, excellent vibes around you, Aquarius. Hey Aquarius, if you want more, if you're new here and you're not familiar with my channel, I do all kinds of readings. I'm actually the first YouTube tarot reader. I invented this format back in the day. It's been over 10 years now. But I have other readings, so this is just a little short reading. And for a more personal reading, get ahead to my website, where the special, I have other readings, various ones, but the special I'm running right now is going to be that 2026 year ahead, available only for a limited time until the end of this month. So check that out if you're interested. Next, we're going to move on to the sign of Pisces. Well, Neptune, your ruling planet, went direct on the 10th, so that's cool. It's in your sign too. You're another sign that's going to feel a lot of things start to really move forward. Saturn went direct the end of last month, so things are really moving forward for many of our Pisces friends. Oh, this one, the top card wants to come out, Earth. Well, take a look. If you're on a device where you can pause and zoom in, you may want to do that and check out some of the background words. If you do that and a background word stands out and you want to share it in the comments, it's always appreciated. Earth is just Earth. I mean, that's what it is. It's the Earth signs. It's the season of Earth, which is what we're going to be moving into as the 21st of the solstice. We'll be moving into the season of Earth sign of Capricorn. Okay. Grounding, practical stability, building on solid foundation, financial growth and stability. Gaia, the Great Mother, provides nourishment to all her inhabitants. Ground yourself in the field of Earth to promote the overall sense of well-being. The Earth card is calling you to take a practical approach in all your endeavors at this time. It may pertain to an Earth sign person, a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, or the season. Like I said, we are going into this season. Okay, let's do a shuffle on some tarot and do three tarot cards for our Pisces, Sun, Rising, Moon. Anybody who has Pisces, Earth, Pisces in their chart. Devil, Knight of Swords, and King of Fire Rods. Well, you know, the Devil is a card of being in bondage, and I could talk more about it, but Devil is also a representation of Capricorn in the major arcana. So I do feel like as we leave the sign of Sagittarius and we move into the sign of Capricorn. Now let me see here. Is that going to be an air sign moon that day? I think it might have been. I think I seem to remember it being maybe an Aquarius moon that day. Oh, it wouldn't be, because it's a Sag moon. Well, it's a Sag moon a couple of days before. Let me double check. So solstice. It's a Capricorn moon that day. But it might be talking about the next day, where we have the Aquarius moon the very next day. But whatever the case, it seems like this is going to be a key moment or a key time for many Pisces. Well, for everybody, but for Pisces in particular. Let's take away all the astrology and go strictly tarot. Now, if you're involved in something where you feel like you are really in bondage and you can't get out of it, or something's really weighing heavy on you or weighing you down, there's help available. There's help available in the Knight of Swords. This could be an air sign person, maybe a younger person who could be an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And the King of Rods. The King of Rods is perhaps a fire sign person, a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. For many, I get the vibes this is like a father and son. Like maybe they're going to come over and help shovel out your driveway, or come over and help you break out the big table for the holiday meals, or, you know, come over and help you set up, or come over and push you out of you if you're stuck in the snow or something. I keep getting a lot of, I hope we're not going to have a ton of snow on. We had a freaking blizzard on Thanksgiving around here. I was so white knuckling the whole way driving through that. And of course, because it was holiday, there wasn't a lot of, you know, they weren't plowing. Nothing was plowed anyway. And it was just really, really like nerve-wracking. So hopefully that's not what they're saying. But the help's available. Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed or ashamed of whatever you feel like is too much to handle here. Or another thing is, if you have a kid, maybe you've been paying for your kids' stuff, like their cell phone, or their, you know, insurance or what this or that, maybe you need to reach out to your ex and say, I know we agreed that, you know, I would pay for this and that for our son or our daughter here, but maybe, you know, I think you might be surprised. I think that they might say, yeah, I can handle that for a while. I can take that off your hands, or I can pay it this month, or, you know, something like that. It could be something like that too. Or if one of your kids comes to you and needs money, but you're already strapped, then maybe you got to go to your ex, their father or somebody, or even maybe your father or somebody else in the family. It's not, whatever you feel trapped in or burdened by, there's help available. And more so, it does feel like this guy is the help, the spearheading it, you know, and either and it feels again strong like this is their son or their grandson. I get that for a lot of people here. Okay, it's like, oh, my grandson is a mechanic. Let me go. We'll come over and get your car started. You know, or something like that even. Or, you know, it could be something like that. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Hey, check out the other readings I have on my channel. If you like this stuff, please do hit the subscribe, like, hype. And if you want a more personalized reading, I have several available on my website, vickieverlie.com, but the hot ticket right now, it's in time's expiring on this, it's going to be over in a couple of weeks, is to get in on that 2026 year ahead. All that's available on my website, and you can find all from the links below. Have a great second half of the month and a great holiday celebration, no matter what you celebrate. I hope yours is very merry and bright, and I'll be back again soon with another reading.